This is a short video just showing some of the features of the new version 2 of our Z80 board. The major differences are here that there's now an LED showing when the Z80 has control of the bus. The green LED is active when the 28C64 ROM has been activated, and this LED here, yellow in this particular case, indicates whether the lower 4K of the ROM is being accessed or the upper 4K. When the lower 4K is active, the LED will be on. The monitor signs on typically as the previous master.z80 monitor signs on. Pressing the K commands lists the various commands available. You can see that indicates the low page is now active, and currently the C command in the low page boots CP/M from the floppy disks. If I switch to the upper 4K page with the XH command and now do a K command, you can see that the C command now has been switched to the X modem command. This command allows you to download over the serial port a file directly into essentially anywhere into memory, typically from a PC. So if we go over to our PC, we can use an example here. The example I'm going to use is the actual monitor where I've actually addressed it at 100H in ROM, and I can assemble that by using the CP/M emulator on the Windows and using a submit file. We'll assemble that, and we now make a .com file, and we will now proceed to move this COM file over to the S100 system using Telnet. We transfer it using the X modem protocol. The file that we want to load is the master.com file, so we open it, and now the X modem program here is ready to send a file to the PC over the serial link. Going back to our program here on the S100 system, we use the C command, and we will load it into memory at 100H. So the file has been transferred into 100H in RAM, and in fact if you use a G100 you will actually boot up the monitor, which is now residing at 100H in RAM, and it'll actually boot up obviously in the default low page. If I hit the reset here for a second and go back to the monitor in the ROM, all the other commands are pretty much as in the original board right now. For example, the P command, the P command will boot up CP/M from the IDE board using P command. And do a dir, you'll see the directory listing. And in fact, this is booting up from our IDE board itself. Interestingly, if you look at the Z80 board, the ROM, of course, is now no longer active under CP/M True. It's totally inactive and removed from the 64K of the address space of the CPU. And now we're in bank memory. We're actually activating, in this particular case, address line A16. So we're looking at essentially 128K CP/M system. All the other features of the board are pretty much the same as in the original V1 board, and you can read up these at www.s100computers.com.